A very good afternoon to you. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. I'm Saturang Haparat. Before we head into the stories in detail, let's take a look at the headlines.
President felicitates police officers who played a major role in making the concept of Matin Nidas Ratak a success. Vehicular movement along the Nuwara Elia Hatton and Hatton Colombo main roads obstructed due to a protest by estate workers. MP Sunil Honda comments about the time the provincial councils earned profits. Peru landslides killed at least 15 at hotel wedding party.
On to those stories in detail now. The Janapati Prashansa Awards ceremony to felicitate police officers who played a major role in making the concept of Matin Nidahas Ratak a success commenced at the Sugatadasa Stadium in Colombo this morning. The award ceremony was held under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena.
Janadipati Prashansa 2019.
Nearly 1,034 police officers who were actively involved in dangerous drug raids and prevention activities during the period from January 14, 2015 to January 14, 2019 were felicitated on the occasion. Awards were given under 3 categories, and accordingly 15 officers were awarded with the Presidential Medal of Police Gallantry, 59 officers with the Sri Lanka Police Gallantry Medal, and the rest with Janadipati Prashansa certificates.
I
want to very clearly state that the time when the racketeers in the village transfer the OIC of the village the way they want will be changed. Things will not happen the way the politicians want. Not all politicians are bad. A majority are good, some are bad. I know the hardships that you encounter in your line of duty. I had a very close relationship with the police when I was young. We have to remove this criticism that are raised against the police. There are a few who are corrupt in all of these places. We must clearly understand that the majority who carry out their duties well cannot be reprimanded for the wrongdoings of a few. As the minister in charge of the police, I will issue an order. If a police officer is being transferred, be it based on the annual transfers or a policy transfer, be it a transfer that is beyond those methods, the reason behind the transfer should be mentioned in the letter. That will be done so that you can work with honesty. I will create a system where you can inform me if the racketeers and the corrupt are exerting some form of pressure when carrying out your duties. If they are pushing for you to be transferred, or if they have become a challenge into your personal life. Similar to the hotline to report on narcotic cases, the 1984 hotline, a unit will be created in the police for these matters.
පොලිසියේ එවැනි තත්ත්වයන් දන්වන්නත් මා විශේෂ ඒකකයක් පිහිටවන බව ඔබට මෙහිදී සඳහන් කරන්නට ඕනේ.
Estate workers in the Hatton area are engaged in a protest regarding the daily wage issue of the estate workers. The protesters are blocking the Hatton Colombo Hatton Nuwara main road.
An agreement was to be signed today to increase the daily salary of estate workers from 500 rupees to 700 rupees. The estate trade unions collective said that they will not sign the collective agreement in this regard. They charged that although their daily salary has been increased from 500 to 700 rupees, several allowances that were granted in the previous collective agreement have been cut off through the latest one. The protesters demand that the salary be increased to 1,000 rupees without an agreement. Heavy traffic congestion was reported along the Hatton Colombo and Hatton Nuwara Elia roads. The Hatton police have taken steps to control the traffic. When News First inquired in this regard from the chairman of the National Estate Workers Union, State Minister Vadivel Suresh, he said that discussions are being carried out to sign the collective agreement with amendments.
Let me draw your attention to some political news now. Here are some of the views expressed on the new proposed constitution.
Mahinda Rajapaksa was elected in 2010 to bring in a new constitution. Even in 2015, he came into power to bring in a constitution. Now all of them want to bring in a new constitution. The need for a new constitution has been there since 2005. A discussion should be held in this regard. One group says that a new constitution should be brought and the executive presidency should be abolished. They also want to elect a president who is not a member of parliament from a secret vote. If this gets passed in parliament, even someone like Arjun Aloysius can be the next president. There is another proposal about the police powers. The draft bill says a police department and a police commission will be appointed in every province. Who is going to appoint the head of the police division? The chief minister of that respective province. Who is going to appoint the police officers of the commission? The chief minister? The leader of the LTTE created a police with the terrorists in the northern and eastern provinces. So if this gets approved, there is a chance for these police divisions to get established. After the powers of the president, governor and the parliament are vested with the provincial councils, the word unitary state will be invalid.
JVP parliamentarian Sunil Honda attended a meeting in Valigama yesterday.
Sometimes we think, if not for the directors of these organizations and ministers, this country would operate in a better way. The local government institutions were operated without MPs since the elections were not held. One could say that it is a problem related to democracy and human rights of the public representatives. However, no one knows what lies on the other side. All of us should accept the truth. The time where the local government bodies were operated without chairmen and MPs were the times where there was no corrupt activities. That was when the local government bodies also earned profits. When you check the accounts, it shows that the time where the MPs were not there, there was no corruption. So what does it say? What is the truth behind it? Corruption can be eradicated if politics doesn't get involved. These corrupt activities can be prevented up to a certain extent if there is no politicians involved. It would be better without politicians.
Minister of Agriculture P. Harrison made these views following a meeting in Amunukula, Nochiagama.
The opposition says that the government will pay a compensation of 40,000 rupees for every acre affected by the fall armyworm. But won't that be for the crops that are completely destroyed? They say that you will have to pay the compensation even if 10% of it is affected. What do you think about this?
We can look into that. We will consider about it after studying the research reports.
Does it mean that you are not going to pay any compensation for the partly destroyed crops?
It is not that we are not going to pay anything. We have taken measures to evaluate and report the impact. Accordingly, we can discuss and pay the compensation. The second phase of the study conducted by Newsfirst on the spread of the Sena caterpillar or the fall armyworm in the country began today. The Newsfirst team are currently attending a special workshop conducted by the Agricultural Faculty of the Peradeniya University. Stay tuned to Newsfirst and we will keep you updated regarding this as well. Moving on to more news, the refurbished Dhammashalava of the Bodhimalu Vihare in Godatua was declared open under the auspices of UNP parliamentarian S.M. Marika.
Yes, because there is a requirement for the presidential election, because it has been understood that the president had gone against the constitution. Because of that, the presidential election should be conducted first. On the other hand, elections cannot be conducted based on the opposition's requirement. They can also go to court. Anyone could go to courts and fight for justice like we did. But if we go to courts for the things they did, we will have to go there over 1,000 times. The general election cannot be held after the court granted a verdict when the constitution was broken. As a result, presidential election can be conducted at any moment. After a new president is appointed, he can establish the parliament and the provincial councils according to his requirement. That is easier.
වැඩිය ලේසි.
Let's assume I say I'm ready and there is another person who is also ready for it. Someone would come along and say that person cannot be given the chance because he is an American citizen. Someone else would say that you cannot give the position of president and prime minister both to the Rajapaksas. Are we the people with the crisis? Tell us, who is the candidate? Is it Basil, Gotabaya, Chamal, Dinesh or Welgamer? We will speak about our candidate at the correct time.
අපි නියම වෙලාවට අපි අපේක්ෂකයා දාන්න.
The Health Ministry says that the shortage of medical drugs at the Maharagama Apeksha Hospital will be solved within the next 2 weeks. Director of the Medical Supplies Division at the hospital, Dr. Lal Panapitiya, said that there is a shortage of 3 drugs administered to cancer patients at the hospital. He added that 2 of the drugs will be brought into the country this week. The director added that steps have been taken to import the other drugs within the next 2 weeks. Dr. Lal Panapitiya said that the drug shortage was caused due to an issue in the procurement process. The management of the hospital has directed the staff to purchase these drugs through the hospital for the patients who need them. The Health Ministry added that sufficient funds have been released for the hospital to purchase these drugs from the private sector. Moving on to some sports news now. The promotional activities of the Sports First Alliance Platinum Awards 2018 got underway for the 13th consecutive day today. The promotional activities took place at the DS Senanayake College in Ampara.
The Platinum Award ceremony is organized to assess and award talented sportsmen and women in the country within the years of 2017 and 2018. The award ceremony is scheduled to be held on the 29th of March at Stein Studios, Rotmalana. 20 awards and 10 medals are to be presented at the event. The program is conducted with the assistance of the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports. The inauguration ceremony of the promotional activities, which was held at the DSA Nanayaka College in Ampara, was attended by the Divisional Director of Education in the Ampara district, the Principal of the college, and officials of the Capital Maharaja Organization and Alliance. The program included several colorful displays, and baseball, rugby and football were introduced to sportsmen and women in the area. Rugby player Purnima Kusum of the Bandaranaike Girls School won the Platinum Gold Award. Athlete Dulshani Fernando of the DSA Nanayaka National School and Umesh Buddhika won the Silver and Bronze Awards respectively. The Torch of Hope of Platinum Awards 2018 continued its journey from Ampara to Monaragala.
Well, that's all the news we have for you this afternoon. We will keep you updated throughout the day through our live at 55 news bulletins and of course our prime time news at 9 tonight. I've been Saturang Hapuarachi. Have a good day.